Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our very first podcast episode with 𝗂𝗏𝗀. This is 𝗂𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀, and I'm very blessed to be your host today. Today, we're going to be discussing one of the most critical topics in the pharmaceutical industry. We're honored to host Mr. Salvatore Cannata, a product specialist at the leading Italian company 𝗪𝗲, a global expert in advanced process equipment for sterilization, decontamination, washing, and contamination solutions for pharmaceutical, biotechnology, laboratories, and healthcare. Welcome, Mr. Salvatore.
Hi, Sama. Thank you. I'm very happy to be here.
I'm so glad as well.
Yeah, I'm very happy to visit our friends and partner 𝗂𝗏𝗀 and meet again some old customer and visit a new one.
Before moving into our discussion, I have to ask you, how's been your experience in Egypt for the first time so far?
Yeah, this is my first time in Egypt. I found a very, very beautiful land. So I defined it a mother of culture. So I'm very happy to come here.
That's wonderful to hear. And of course, as we all know, Egypt pharmaceutical sector is moving and expanding
absolutely.
every day more.
For us, it's a very, very good market because have very, very improvement of the factory and the technology in the Middle East.
I wish this is not your last visit and it reflects and be more very productive.
I hope no.
Yeah. Now, to start very simple, but from a very critical perspective, we all know that sterilization and decontamination are the backbone for pharmaceutical manufacturing, specifically if you are talking about patient safety, product quality, or regulatory compliance. So, from your experience, Salvatore, what is sterilization and decontaminations? Why are they so critical in the pharmaceutical industry?
You touched the point. So, the sterilization is and the contamination too is the very critical aspect now in the pharmaceutical sector. Why is needed maintain and under control the risk of decontamination and also assurance the quality of the product. So maintain at high level the quality of the sterilization is a minimum requirement for the current regulation and for the new the future of this sector.
It's essentially, as you're talking, it's related to the product integrity and preventing the risk at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah. So as we understand its importance, it makes sense now that we take a look at the company that is responsible for doing such technologies.
Exactly.
So could you briefly introduce with us 𝗪𝗲 and what are the core solutions that you provide?
Sure. 𝗪𝗲 that I'm honored to represent here in this moment is Italian company that manufacture and design machineries for sterilization, for washing, for decontamination, for deperigenization, and biodecontamination too. Okay. We are located near to Venice.
Interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very good place. It's with very old traditional on manufacturers machines. Last technology concept is a little bit different, and because we put in the center of our design the product and the layout of the customer. So don't we adapt to the customer our standard product, but we construct the machine around their requirement. That take easy for them, for customer, the validation, the final validation, because don't need to reply to their requirement to adapt the cutter machine. But the machine is constructed around the US.
Yes, that's really interesting, as this explains the very strong presence of 𝗪𝗲 in the pharmaceutical environment, as they're providing both equipment and the process assurance as well. Yeah. So, and we talk about solutions, of course, compliance become a very critical thing that we have to consider. So how do you see your system ensure compliance with GMP standards in the pharma world?
So GMP for us is the main point to take in account for every project. So maintain the design the machine according to the current standard with the local law of the customer, with the that maintain always at the center of the attention the data integrity and the conformity to the CFR 21 Part 11 or Annex 11 is very important, because we want give to the customer a product ready for the certification with the major pharmaceutical agency like to FDA or EMA.
Yes. Yeah, I assume that also ties with the Annex 1 expectations for controlling contamination control.
Absolutely.
And that's what leads us to the equipment that, or the portfolio of LAST. What are the main products, lines, or equipments that you offer?
Yeah, so the last technology I tell you before is manufactured for part washer machine, for autoclave for sterilization, for terminal sterilization. That is very important now.
Yes,
for
required by a lot of
exactly
customers.
exactly pass box for biodecontamination, oven for depyrogenization, clean steam generator, and in the next future we present a new product for the sterilization with BHP.
Yes, very interesting. And the level of equipment diversity is very important, specifically when different customers or different companies have different techniques or they need different process requirements. So being diverse in the equipments that you provide is very essential. And that's what the field needs now. So moving to this from the system to the real world, from your experience, what is the biggest challenges that sterilization and decontamination process
So
today?
for my experience, what I see and what is important for us is assurance that, first of all, the energy and water saving. So second is very important is the data integrity and the possibility of the machine to connect with the centralized ET system, ETOT system. Why? Because now we are moving versus Pharma 4.0. So this needed to centralize all data in a central server of customer and maintain always the data integrity in the machine.
Yes. And then I believe in also to avoid such challenges, flexibility of design may be a solution as well. So do you and LAST provide customized solutions based on the requirements of the client, or it's just standardized products or equipment?
Absolutely. LAST born to create, to manufacture tailor-made solution. So
are just made for each customer.
Exactly.
Made, not
Exactly. We start from the process, and from the requirement of the customer and the space available. Sometimes it's not possible to put a large machine, and so it's need adapt maybe for them some machines. So for this reason, we make the 90% of our business in tailor-made solution.
Yes, I believe when there's a customized solution for each one, it's critical, especially when dealing with different clean rooms, layouts, different designs or production capacities. So each customer requirements is way different to them.
Absolutely, yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So let's move to some very practical questions that we get asked from customers, and that I believe it's essential and affecting the autoclaves performance. So what type of water do you believe is best for autoclaves, either tap water, purified water, or water for injection?
The selection of the water, the type of water, depends how the machine are designed. What I mean, so the tap water normally is used for vacuum pump or for cool down the drain. Sometimes customer in different application use purified water for steam generator or for rapid cooling of the load. Instead, sometimes the 𝗪𝗪𝗫 that is very poor water is used also for clean generator. So depends the approach that customer have, the quality that they want to obtain. So what 𝗪𝗪𝗫 is more pure respect poor
Yes,
water.
of course. So yeah, that's why it's very important to know the difference, especially in GMP environments, because choosing the correct water actually protects either the chamber, the piping,
Exactly.
also the overall
Exactly.
system performance.
After that, on a standard like to EN285 that is dedicated for the medical device, but is taking account for the pharmaceutical sector also, introduce one section for the quality, minimum quality of the water to provide to the
Yes.
steam generator, for example.
Okay.
So maybe I suggest to customer to follow this standard to meet the requirement of Annex 1.
Yes. Coming to a question that is a bit confusion for some customers, can you explain the difference between steam sterilization, VHP, and ethylene oxide?
Steam sterilizer use steam like a media that allow to transfer the energy from the steam to the load during the change of the status from steam to water. So the energy allow to kill the bacteria or the virus. But the limitation of this technology is that the load must be sustained at temperature. Okay, so when it is not possible to sterilize the product, so for example, for its sensible components, is needed pass through another technology. The two technology current in the medical sector, but used also in the pharmaceutical, is the sterilizer that use the chemical, this chemical agent, like to kill the bacteria and the virus. But is a very risk because is a cancerogenic gas and take more time because after the sterilization, after the exposure to this gas, is needed more time for the evaporation of these gases. A new technology, the new tendency is moved versus the VHP. The VHP is vaporized into the chamber. It's possible to done in pressure or in vacuum. So in this way, we can obtain a good result of biodecontamination up to reach maybe the log 6.
Did you start to implement the VHP cycle in last?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. We already have in our catalog one machine dedicated for decontamination with VHP in pressure, but now we starting to manufacture a machine to perform the process in vacuum.
But overall, of course, steam sterilization is the most used method, right?
Yeah.
More than the ethylene and the...
Absolutely.
Yeah. So finally, what's the most common mistakes do you see manufacturers do when they reach out to last technology?
Yeah. What I see from different customers that sometimes is concentrate only to the beginning price.
Yes.
Is very important from my point of view to see the real cost of the machine, the total life of the machine. So this is an approach of the different approach of last technology respect to our competitor, because we adopt only commercial components, and this gives the possibility to the customer to select during the life of the equipment the components, the spare part directly to the market, and have the possibility to choose the supplier and maintain under control the cost.
Okay, so that means that you can get any spare parts from anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So we have our big warehouse, but give to the final customer the possibility to choose by the spare parts.
So as you know that now automation is the thing that's leading the world nowadays. So what do you think, what are the benefits of using a part washer instead of using manual washing or cleaning?
Yeah, the part washer is very important in the process of each pharmaceutical components. Why? Because proceed with manual one is not correct. Why is not correct? Because it's not possible to validate. The new requirement, the new rule oblige the customer, the pharmaceutical companies to validate also the washing. To have a validate cycle is needed on a machine that give you this possibility. Why? Because the machine give you the same result for every batch, give the possibility to check the quality of the washing, and at the same time we record and maintain the data integrity. So in this way, for every audit, you have the possibility to
You have a report for all the things.
exactly,
Yes.
exactly. After that, we designed this machine for water saving to take a look on design the parts and wash correctly and also dry.
So, what will the customer save or get in return since paying this amount of money in an automated part washer? What will be the thing they're gonna receive in return?
First of all, the running cost. Why? Because the machine always take the same type of water, the amount of water. You know perfectly each cycle, the energy consumption, and everything. So you can put in the balance the cost of manual and the wash you don't have. You can compare.
So, from a customer perspective, what is the ROI, the return for the part washer investment in return?
Yeah, implement a part washer for customer give different advantages. First of all, reduction of the running cost. Second, the possibility to managing the energy consumption and water consumption. Third, possibility to validate and have the same result for every cycle. Fourth, give the possibility to have the flexibility because you can make with the same machine different internal basket that will locate different components and give the possibility also to use the chemical agent, very aggressive chemical agent that normally is not possible to use during the manual washing. And after that, obtain good result during the drying phase that is not possible obtaining with manual washing.
I do believe this is a very valuable perspective, and as it's going to be very time consuming and going to save a lot of energy for the company itself as well. So from our experience also with the pharmaceutical industry, a lot of customers, they just keep opening the valve and don't calculate the amount of liters of water that they're gonna be consumed through all over the days. So all of this, of course, costs a lot of money.
Absolutely.
So I do believe having an automated system, so we have reports recorded, all the data, how much they consume per day, month, will be very helpful.
Absolutely. With the automatic machine, you can take under control the consumption because the machine take the water and load the water every time with the same quantity. So you don't have traceability of the amount of the water used. After that, the automatic system give you the possibility to reuse the water. Sometimes customers ask us to reuse, for example, the water used for the final rinse for the next washing cycle for performing the pre-wash. In this way, you can save water and save money. This means
you can
save
reuse
money.
the water that you have already used in another process.
Exactly.
Yes. So in order to finalize our today's discussion, so how do you see the washing progress so far, and what related to the technologies that we have discussed, how are they going to be shaping our future in the pharmaceutical industry?
Yeah, absolutely. I see a very improvement of the order and the request of quotation for this type of machine because customers take note that this is very important to implement in their plant this type of technology.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Salvatore, for today's episodes and for your valuable insights. It was really informative.
Thank you to you to give me this opportunity.
So that brings us to the end of today's discussion. Today, we have discussed critical points, including the sterilization and decontamination from GMP compliance, system design, washing designs, as well as different challenges and the presence in the pharmaceutical industry in Egypt as well. It was really a pleasure to have Mr. Salvatore with us today. Thanks a lot, and I hope you have enjoyed. And thanks to all our listeners. And stay tuned for more episodes with 𝗂𝗏𝗏, where we explore more future technologies and how are they shaping the future in Egypt.